We got some breaking news. We gonna get into it. Give my reaction on Shedeur Sanders about to light the league up. Let's go.
Breaking. I mean, let's talk about real relevant breaking news. That's not just.
Why are you doing that, Richie? Why are you doing that? Why?
What's the breaking news? The one that he's playing.
This is huge, Richie. This is huge. Like the future, one of the top 5 quarterback in the NFL is about.
Welcome to Fourth and Forever, folks. Your flagship NFL show here on the channel, man. You said top 5, man. That's what you had to just, like, you know what I mean? You had to get booted there.
Future top 5.
I know you said future. Trust me, I know. Future top 5 quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, according to TD Finns Talk. I mean, are you and Josina Anderson in like a group or something? Is it like this like weird cult of Shedeur Sanders hive?
So one thing I will say, and you know what? Like, I'm fine with making this the first topic of the day, but I genuinely can't remember a quarterback that has had this much of a cult following than Shedeur Sanders. I can't recall a single one. Can you?
And I hope TD's aware.
Can anybody recall a QB that has such a cult following?
They all have them, but not at this scale, for sure.
Yeah.
This is a new scale, and I think a lot of it has to do with the name on the back of his jersey, of course, and everything he brought, the style that he plays. And I really hope TD can admit and just be self-aware enough to realize that there's 2 in ears, and there's these, you know, there were Zach Wilson ears, whatever you want to call it. You are part of the Shedeur Sanders, the Sandineers. What do we call it? Can you admit it, TD? You say I am part of it.
I'm a part of it.
Cool. All right, thank you.
But it's not just TD though. Like with Tua is different. So with Tua is different because that was only with Miami Dolphins fans. Zach Wilson obviously was only with Jets fans.
BYU,
Bama too.
Yeah, that's where it comes.
But Shedeur is like Colorado fans. It's Cleveland fans, and then a lot of just football fans in general are like, "Oh, it's him, man! It's him. He's the next coming." Like it's a
love primetime
nationwide.
So let me explain.
It's Deion fans.
Let me explain a perspective to you two gentlemen, and I want to see if this makes any difference for you. Okay, there is a difference between Sandineer, however you want to call it, and what I am. And there are a lot of people that fit into the category with me. Now, if you're a Colorado fan, you know, Sandineer, okay? It's not like that for me. What it is that we're looking at a young man who did everything right for the most part. You know, he grew up, he did what he needed to do. He did all he could to get on the big stage in the NFL. And then he's touted as a top 5 prospect by most before the draft. And when you're following his journey and you're rooting for him, but you see something abysmal happen like it did that he could not control, no matter why people say it happened, but for him to get drafted where he did, it becomes one of those things where you want him to overcome the odds. So you become a fan in that sense, not because he was at Colorado and you're a Colorado fan like Tua was with Alabama. No, this is a little different. You want to see the kid have his moment. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to get to witness that this week because he's going to have an MVP type performance versus the Raiders. And that's all he's going to need to do. That's all he's going to need to do. And people will back off. You know why, Dan?
Why's that?
When Dylan Gabriel passes concussion protocol after Shedeur Sanders has a MVP type performance, which is better than any performance Dylan Gabriel has had this year. When that happens and Kevin Stefanski starts Dylan Gabriel anyway, what is everyone going to have to say then? Is it plausible that some funny stuff is happening?
Mm-hmm. So the way that I look at it is this. Like this Raiders game is really going to set the stage for him because it's really a lose-lose like for him on Sunday, right? Like he's going to have to do more than just Raiders. Say that he ends up lighting up the Raiders, right? Like say that he goes for 300 yards, multiple touchdowns, he takes care of the football. Like people are just going to say, "Oh, it's just the Raiders." But say that he goes out and he bums it out against the Raiders, then that's also a much more significant L.
Massive.
My question So my question is this: how would he need to play? Directed toward Richie. How would Shedeur Sanders need to play on Sunday versus the Raiders? Okay, maybe everybody was right. Maybe he is promising. What would his stat line need to be for you, Rich?
Yeah, for me, it's not stat line. I think if you evaluate a rookie based off of the box score, that's not going to cut it. It's more the eye test. What impressed me a lot with Shedeur pre-draft that actually made me think, all right, like I think that he actually does have potential, is he's an old school style quarterback in terms of being able to process the field and be a pure pocket passer. That's what he excelled in college. Is that going to translate? If that element of his game does not translate to the NFL level, then he will be a bust. I think that's really what it comes down to, because he doesn't have that next level talent of an arm that can make all the big time throws. But if he can process and show a mental fortitude and a level of confidence and a command, that's what I'm looking at the most, man. Like, not his accuracy, not his flashy plays. Are you out there commanding the huddle, reading a defense, knowing where your check downs are, your first read, second read? Like, that is what I'm going to look at. And it may not come in his first game starting. That's going to be something he needs to obviously develop into. But how is his footwork? Whenever I watch a young quarterback, I always look at the footwork, because that really shows you if their head is tied with their lower half. And I think the lower half of quarterbacks is extremely valuable. And some quarterbacks love to be sloppy, throw off their back foot, not have pure fundamentals. And I think that he has that. Like, if you look at the tape, he has that really nice fundamental pocket passing ability. So is that part of his game going to translate? And I think if he can be turnover free, and also one thing I've noticed in his preseason debuts and even that game this past Sunday, he abandons the pocket a little too prematurely when the pressure's coming. Can he step up into the pocket, throw the ball over the middle, and take a hit instead of just running backwards and taking a 15-yard sack? That's another big issue with young quarterbacks, is when pressure comes, instead of being confident, know where you got to go, make the throw and take a hit, they run backwards. And then they take like a 7 to 10 yard sack. Zach Wilson was notorious for that and drove everybody mad. So those are the things I'm going to be looking at. And I really don't think we can evaluate Shedeur, whether he balls out or struggles in this game. To be honest, people are going to react one way or the other because he is Shedeur Sanders. But I'm excited to see what he looks like. And it's an easy opponent for him to get comfortable.
Now, as far as evaluating a young quarterback, like you just mentioned, I don't need him to go out there and do things that he did well in college. What I need to see is growth in the things that he doesn't do well, because that's what NFL defenses are going to try and exploit. I do not want him don't want him to be taking meaningless sacks. Like you said, I don't want him bailing out of the pocket too soon. A lot of the things that he was criticized for pre-draft process, while the Raiders is an absolute joke, their pass rush is still for real. So I think that we're going to get a good sense of where he is in his overall development. Now, of course, that he has with the first team. Go off, TD.
First of all, I don't think y'all understand what's about to happen. The man's about to have an MVP-esque game. Y'all don't understand. He is going to throw probably over 300 yards. He is going to probably have 3 or 4 touchdowns in this game. I'm telling you now, it's about to happen. Okay. Here's what you need to realize, Dan. Here's why people are not going to say, oh, it was the Raiders. Because they've made this whole thing simply about, is he better than Dylan Gabriel? That's what they've created. That's the only thing that matters. For a lot of people, that's all that matters. Why? Because why would you draft him over me when you knew I was better? And this is a game where he gets to prove that, because Dylan Gabriel has played garbage with teams worse than the Raiders. So this is all about Shedeur showing that in his first real start in the NFL, he already has a better game than Dylan Gabriel has, period, over 8 weeks or how many ever weeks it's been. That's all it's about. And that's what's about to go out there and happen. And I'll say this, it's a win-win for Shedeur, Dan. Here's why. There is no losing in this situation other than just thinking up the joint. If he stinks it up, then guess what? Shedeur, you had your shot. You blew it. It is what it is. It is what it is. See, moments like this, you have to show up. If you don't show up, listen, man, I don't care about the O-line being bad. I don't care about the drops. Man, nobody cares about that. You got to figure out a way to get a win for your team and play well in the process, period. So that's what it is. But everybody's been waiting for this moment and this opportunity. And hey, for him, it's a win because he gets it now. Not only does he get it, but guess what, Dan? The reason why it's a huge win, Dylan Gabriel going to be out of concussion protocol after this week. And when Shedeur Sanders has one game better than the 8 or 9 that Dylan had, Stefanski still, if he does, okay? I believe he will. I believe he will.
He's talking like it already happened.
it will, Richie. It will. You're about to find
out.
All
right, wait. Okay. So you said 300 yards. So I want us to be on record right now. We need someone to write this down. We want to hear your exact stat line prediction of Shedeur Sanders on Sunday.
I'm going to say
how close you can get it.
I'm going to say 310.
Okay.
3 TDs, 1 interception, 17 rushing yards.
And how many completions and incompletions?
Oh, man.
Completion percentage.
Depends on how much Stefanski wants to run the football, but
the secondary is bad.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to go completions. It's going to be 22 of 30.
22 completions for 300 plus yards. A lot of explosive plays here.
Yeah, but that's what Shedeur does. He puts the ball up.
And then my last question is this. When he doesn't have a stat line like that and he struggles, what's your tone going to be on Monday?
It depends. If he loses the game and hurt his team, you had your shot, period. I don't care. If it's a 220-yard game, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, did you really hurt your team, or did you help your team, but it just wasn't explosive? Then it's just hey, that was a good enough for people start, and you get to build on that now.
You do, folks. We give a giant shout out to our good friends over on Sleeper. Folks, Sleeper is the #1 player prop platform on the market today. Very simple process. You pick anywhere between 2 to 5 players. You accurately predict their projections, and you could be paid for being correct. Signing up, you get a free $20. That's a free $20 for Thursday Night Football for the rest of NFL Week 12. As long as you end up using code RTS, if you put down a $100 deposit, you could see a return of up to 100% completely on Sleeper utilizing said code. Of course, terms and conditions apply, and always, always, always play responsibly.